The week of 1911s is coming to a close, and I couldn't think of a better way to close it out than to talk about my Bullseye pistol. This is a Colt model of 1911 US Army, and this gun was made in 1919. I've already pretty extensively covered this gun here on the channel, and you can find the video for that down in the description. But before I talk about the gun itself, I want to shout out Jared AF here on YouTube. You can also find his channel down in the description. He's great when it comes to Bullseye videos and talking about Bullseye shooting, and he's given me quite a bit of insight when it comes to this pistol. So I won this gun via the Rock Island Auction Company back in September, and I won the gun for 600 bucks. I'm going to talk about what I have done to the pistol since getting it, and then we'll talk about what was done to the gun before I got it. So what did we do to the pistol? We changed all the springs because they were all very worn out. We fitted a Harrison design trigger, and then we threw on wood caliber stocks. Just those three things. Everything else that was done to the gun was done before we got it. So this gun began life as a model of 1911 US Army, and then at some point a Bowmore sight rib was fitted to the pistol for Bullseye shooting. This is one that has the pig sticker, the long front sight. The front sight dovetails into the sight rib, but I've not been able to find replacement front sights, just full ribs. So it's staying the way it is right now. The gun was fitted with a National Match barrel, hard to see it, but National Match barrel there, and a National Match barrel bushing. This is easily the tightest gun that I've owned in my entire life. I don't want to own anything tighter than this pistol because it is a pain to get apart. But that's something that I don't want to say that you want that for a Bullseye gun, but this is the era where people wanted that out of Bullseye guns. They wanted very, very tight guns. The fit everywhere is tight. If I grip this gun and shake it, you can't hear anything. So the slide work is, new barrel bushing, of course the Bowmore sight rib. Working our way down to the frame here, we have a mixture of 1911 and 1911 A1 parts. So the slide release here, the 1911 style thumb safety, very positive, which I really do dig that. I was kind of surprised when we got this gun with how positive the safety is, but it just goes to show that Colt did care about making good guns, but it took them, it was 100 years ago if you wanted to get a gun that they actually cared about. I really dig our beaver tail here, which you can see that they welded an extension onto to give you better grip in the hand. As someone with big hands, I like that, whether I'm shooting one-handed or two-handed. Really do dig that. Arch mainspring housing is an A1 thing, and I'm glad it's got it because I prefer that. We have checkering on the front strap. I will say that this gun, the frame is a little thin at the front, so I couldn't really go back and change that if I wanted to. And the texturing is kind of like inset into the frame itself. It's not like a lot of newer guns that have front strap checkering where it kind of sits proud. This is probably about 25 LPI, maybe even 20, but it doesn't feel that bad because it's being inset there. So quite comfy. The magazine that the gun came with is a 1943 production magazine, and I've actually tested 230 grain HSTs out of it in this gun, which maybe I shouldn't have, but you want to see if it does it, and it fed it just fine. So kind of surprising there. This gun is very tight. Said there's no rattle on it at all, even with this rickety old magazine, but it makes sense as a Bullseye gun of that era, right? What are my plans with this gun? It's staying the way it is. I'm probably going to mess with the springing a little bit. I think we currently have a 16 or an 18 pound recoil spring in here. It probably needs less than that. I've not had any malfunctions with the gun, but it is very tough to rack the slide because of the extra weight, and then, just it's an old gun and very tight. And we think that a lighter weight spring would probably help out, not just with racking it, but also there is some concern of short stroking because of the weight of the slide, so that would probably help out to actually get the full extension. But yeah, I want to keep this gun as is. Maybe in the future I get like a Nelson Custom or one of the Marvel Precision 22 Bullseye slides for it. But for how it is, I kind of just like it the way it is. So what do you think? Do you dig this really, really strange looking gun, or is it too weird for you? And again, I want to thank Jared AF for his insight into this pistol. So thank you for following along for our week of 1911s, and I really just do appreciate that you're here.